Hello and welcome. My name is Victoria Lyall. I'm the Jan and Frederick Mayer Curator of Art of the Ancient Americas here at the Denver Art Museum. I'm delighted to be with you to present the continued legacy of ancient artists on the Mexican modern painters that you'll experience in this exhibition. I'm here with my colleague, Jorge Rivas.
Thank you, Victoria. Welcome. Bienvenidos. I'm Jorge Rivas, the Frederick and Jan Mayer Curator of Latin American Art. And I'm happy to present you the art from the permanent collection and how it influences this fantastic exhibition on Mexican Modernism. Here we have two very important artists that produce a type of art which was very different from what Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo were doing at this time. One is born in Mexico City, Gunther Gerzso, and the other is an immigrant, Carlos Mérida, who was born in Guatemala. The art that they produce reflected European avant-gardes. In the case of Gerzso, he spent a long period of time living with his uncle in Switzerland. And in the case of Mérida, he spent a lot of time in Europe studying. So the vision was against figurative art, and they embrace abstraction.
This is a ceramic house model from the ancient communities living in the state of Nayarit. What we see here is a hollow ceramic that's showing a feasting scene. You can see that it's a two-story house. There's a portico in the front. There's a figure that's slumped over in the niche in the front of the house. And on the 2 stories above, you see a large basin in the center and figures surrounding it. This is a party. These hollow ceramic house models were often found in shaft tombs. They were meant to accompany the dead. And the figure in the center is most likely somebody who has recently deceased and is being fed. This is a scene of village life. It, even though accompanies the dead, it's a celebration of life. And in Gunther Gerzso's painting, we see what he imagines as this ancient community village scene. We have 2 ceramic figures here. The man is on the left and the woman is on the right. These pair of standing ceramic figures come from a shaft tomb in the state of Nayarit. They would have been accompaniments to the interment of a body. They would have accompanied the soul into the afterlife. The male, you can see, is holding a staff and he's adorned with a tunic that wraps around his torso and this hat that has the 2 adornments coming out of the top of it. The woman, in contrast, isn't wearing any clothing, but she does have her jewelry. She has concentric necklaces, and then on her shoulders, you can see there are raised bumps that would have been some kind of adornment for her as well. The artists have abstracted the feet, in particular, of these 2 figures. They're incredibly stable and can stand on their own, support their own weight. And you can see that Carlos Mérida, the painter, has also abstracted the feet of the figures in his painting as well.
The way you dress is important. It was important during the colonial period. As you can see in this fantastic painting that we have, women will use a lot of gold jewelry, sometimes with coral, which was a very precious material. In post-revolutionary Mexico, the approach was more or less the same. Artists wanted to show that they were linking to past traditions. Diego Rivera often wore traditional men's shirts, like the one I am wearing right now. Frida Kahlo also used traditional dresses, but more important, she used a lot of jewels that connected with the colonial past, jewels that were part of the Mexican tradition.
In the photograph you see behind me, Frida Kahlo is holding a small jade Olmec figurine. The Olmec civilization occupied what we now consider the state of Veracruz and the Gulf Coast of Mexico during the formative period. They're considered to be the mother culture of Mexico. This is the first time ancient communities were able to cultivate corn, create a food surplus, and have time to develop architecture and complex society, government, and art. Frida and Diego and their circle of compatriots and artists collected pre-Hispanic art during this time. It was a way of being connected to the ancient artists. In the photograph next to Nicholas Murray's photograph, you can see they also surrounded themselves by folk art, the product of modern indigenous artists.